What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and this is absolutely insane, but I believe the LCS starts in less than a week. I think it starts this coming Friday, which is in 6 days, which is absolutely insane, which means I need to start getting some of my preseason content out. I need to start getting my tier list breakdowns, analysis, all of that going. So today we're going to be running through, after this little mini offseason we had, what my updated expectations are for all 10 of the teams headed in to the summer split. I'm working on doing some shorter content than the videos we've been doing previously, so I'm going to run through all these teams kind of quickly, just giving my short thoughts and opinions about them. Hopefully it'll make for like an easier, more digestible piece of content and everything. Same thing when we do the tier list of all the players. But yeah, my updated thoughts and opinions. Let's get right into it. First, make sure you guys drop a like. That'd be awesome. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to stay up to date on my latest content. With that being said, here we go. So at the bottom, a team that actually made a few different roster changes in this little off season, whatever you want to call this. Some people are calling it the mid season. I don't even know. Is Golden Guardians. I am going to be keeping them in the F tier. They did finish last in the spring split, and remember, these records do carry over into the summer split, so what you did in spring does kind of matter when we're taking into account these rankings. But what Golden Guardians did do, in my opinion, is a pretty significant improvement up in the top lane. Solo for Niles, and then in the support position they brought in Chime for Newbie, which I'm also a fan of that move. I didn't think Newbie was very good, and he was taking up an import slot, so I didn't really understand that, but Chime is a young North American talent. We'll see how he works out. You know, with all guys, it's a risk at the beginning, and he's probably going to start out slow. Maybe right away he'll even be worse than Newbie, but I think in the long term, it's a long-term upgrade. Might take some time, but still, Golden Guardians has a ton of holes. I think Solo will actually help them a lot, maybe win some more games. Maybe they can even push for like 8th or 9th in the league, but overall, they still have a lot of holes. They still have a lot of flaws. To me, they are the F tier team, but you could even maybe move them up to C tier, but you know, I think they're the worst, so that's where I'm going to be sticking them. Then we have Immortals. No changes going on here for Immortals. I think it's going to be a lot of the same we saw from them last split. I don't really like this roster. I'm not a big fan of Revenge. I'm not a big fan of their bot lane. I like Xerxes. I like Insanity. I think they have some decent pieces to build around, but overall, nothing about Immortals gets me too, you know, like hyped up, too excited. I think they're going to be towards the bottom of the league again. I think they finished like 8th, 7th, or 8th in the spring split, but I see them in that same kind of area again. No real changes, no real improvement. Yeah, some of their younger players, like Revenge, have a chance to really continue to develop going into their second split. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, to me, they're not that interesting, not that exciting. And yeah, they definitely not like a team I need to tune in to see or anything like that. Then we got Flyquest. For me, this team was very, very hyped up coming in to the spring split, and they have a lot of awesome young players that people were hyped up and excited about. You know, they got Jose Diodo, they got Palafox. People were hyped up for Diamond as well, and honestly, I think Diamond ended up being one of the worst players in the entire LCS. So now that they have Dreams coming in to support for the entire split, actually getting to build up synergy with Johnson and everybody, I think this could be a nice little bump up for Flyquest. I think they could be solid. I think they could be decent, but overall, I just think they were really, really overrated. I think they are a young, inexperienced team, and another split under their belt will be awesome. It'll really help them to continue to develop, but this team has a lot of issues. Licorice has not been the carry they would have hoped he would be, and I don't really see them just magically flipping the switch heading into summer split as well. I think they're going to be a bottom tier team once again. And now, one of the bigger surprises, a team that I could see potentially falling off a little bit, going from the top to, you know, not the top, but the upper half to maybe the bottom half in the summer split, is actually Dignitas. To me, I think they overperformed in the spring. You know, it was awesome to see, and it was really, really funny, especially because they are a full North American team, when there was all the NA memes and McDonald's memes and, you know, import rule, all that stuff going on. It was hilarious, but towards the end of the season, they did really start to taper off. They won a lot of games in the spring split that they probably shouldn't have, and, you know, that's good for them. They're putting themselves in the right position. Awesome. But there are a lot of inexperienced and inconsistent rookies around Dardoch and Aphromoo, who Aphromoo has been a beast here and there, but he's also had some really inconsistent times in splits. So has Dardoch. I know they got away with a lot of like cheesy jungle picks and some games that they had no business winning, all that stuff. And I really think that's not going to continue into the summer split, especially with 18 games in the summer split. I could really see Dignitas kind of falling down. And 8 teams make the playoffs, so they'll probably still make the playoffs, but I could see them moving out of like the top 6. Now into the B tier. For me, a team that I actually see potentially having a chance to make a big jump up is CLG. This might surprise some people. People might not agree with this one, but I think Finn is a really, really awesome young player to build around. I think he really started to have some big moments in the spring split at times. I think this team had a lot of visa issues with Finn, with Broxa, all that stuff. They also had mid lane issues with RJS coming in for Poe Belter, all this weird stuff going on. But now they actually get a full split of this full roster. And I think on paper, this team's actually pretty talented. They should be decent if Broxa and Finn can, be as good as they can be, if they can live up to their expectations. This team is kind of a veteran team with a lot of like older guys on it. There's no reason they should be towards the bottom of the league. They had a rough spring. A lot of the guys played bad, but again, there was a lot of outside weird circumstances going on. I could see CLG moving up in the standings in the summer. And then we have Evil Geniuses. This is one of the few teams that did make a move in this offseason. They actually got rid of Deftly in replace for Danny, who's going to be their new AD carry. Now, to me, in the short term, this is a downgrade. I do not think Danny is going to be as good or better than Deftly during the summer split, especially the beginning. Maybe by the end of it, but Evil Geniuses is a solid team. They're a team with a lot of talent. They're a team that wants to win games, try and compete with the top half of teams and everything. But Danny is really a move towards the future. That's really them saying, we're probably not going to make Worlds. We're probably not making a push for like a championship or even a world spot in this split. You know, NA's only got 3 spots. So they're going to build towards the future. They get a young kid that they think is a really, really awesome talent. But again, it might make him a little bit more inconsistent. It might make him a little more volatile and even just a little worse in the summer split. But I think it's a great move by Evil Geniuses. I'm very, very excited for it. If you're going to be a middling team who's not competing for Worlds or for championships, invest in the future. That's awesome. Love what EG's doing there, but I have him as B tier. Then getting into the A tier, I have TSM. They did not make any moves, but over the course of the season, dating back from the lock-in tournament all the way to the end of the regular season into the playoffs, I'm thinking Hooney got way better and really started to figure out how to play with the team. Lost, really came into his own and became a very, very solid player, but there was a lot of inconsistencies with TSM, a lot of flaws, a lot of weird drafts. Bjergsen still kind of learning how to be a coach. This team still kind of learning how to play together, but I think they're going to be solid. I think they're going to be a team to reckon with once again. It kind of depends on the meta. Obviously, with Power of Evil, I wish he had a little bit more interesting of a champion pool, but you get what you get with TSM. But I have a team above them, 100 Thieves, who went out and had an absolutely awesome offseason. They had a huge hole in the mid lane. They fill it with Abadage, and they go and get Reapered as well, who I think is a massive upgrade over Ziggs. They got 2 huge upgrades, and all of a sudden, this team, if everything goes right, they have the talent to compete with Cloud9 and TL at the top of the table. I do still think Cloud9 and TL are more talented and better teams overall, but 100 Thieves is at least in that conversation now. This was clearly the 4th best team in the spring. You know, TSM was pretty solidly above them, but now, in a lot of people's minds, they're right there with TSM, if not even above them. So this is going to make Summer Split a lot more fun to watch because there's actually going to be a lot of contention for these 3 world spots. And I believe any of these 4 teams could really go home with a world spot. In the S tier, I have Cloud9 next. This team, obviously, they won the spring. They went to MSI. They did pretty good, but their finish was obviously a little bit disappointing. But this team, like I said, won the championship. They beat TL with a sub-jungler in the finals in Game 5. That is one of the main reasons why I have TL as a top team. These 2 teams are really close. Just because Cloud9 ended up winning it, TL won the lock-in tournament. These 2 teams are right there with each other. They're going to keep going back and forth, depending on the patch, the meta, the day, just how the drafts go out, lucky plays breaking here and there. I really think either team can win, but I am still favoring Team Liquid a little bit heading into the summer split. I think Alfari is going to be an MVP candidate. I think Corey JJ is going to be a beast. I'm a little bit scared of Tactical being a little bit inconsistent in Santorin, maybe not being as good as they thought he would be. But TL is my pick as the #1 team headed into the summer split, and we're going to see how it all plays out. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. This is my summer split off-season, updated rosters tier list. Now that we know a little bit about every team headed into the summer split, definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. It helps me out the YouTube algorithm so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? What does your tier list look like? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!